So what was your weird friend's name? Oh God. Yeah, that sounds like a recipe for weird.
Well, now she's a mom.
Well,
Like a regular.
it happens when you play with penises.
Yeah, apparently.
You stick them in, you wiggle around, and eventually they go off, and the consequences are terrifying. The giraffe. I saw the giraffe. In fact, one of the first places that we rented when I came to Dallas was in Oak Cliff, and drive by the giraffe, and I saw then it had some issues, and it was surprising to me to know that it's what they call a cold cast bronze. Now, cold cast bronze, what you do is you buy bronze powder and mix it with a resin, and then you can pour that or push that into a mold, like a silicon mold, and it's called cold casting. But you can't actually put a torch on it or anything like that because the resin will ignite. So when I eventually put my hands on it, I realized the whole thing is actually so there'll be an internal steel structure. The surprising thing is that the steel plates and bolts that mount it with the armature that runs inside of it are showing exactly the same galvanic problems in advanced corrosion had it been real bronze without protection, because the paint is all worn off and the steel is in a really bad state, because again, when you have dissimilar metals together, you have a problem with the less noble metal technically will corrode at a faster level than the more noble metal, and copper being more noble. It's an interesting way of building a sculpture that large. And it has a very bronze look, and it's acting just like a bronze. That there's cracks that have formed almost without a doubt from pockets of water being trapped inside of the structure, freezing and then breaking, and then as the water runs out, copper will leach out of the resin mixture and deposit itself as a copper oxide on the surface. And then you're seeing a little bit of lime. So probably there was a certain amount of plaster or filler material that's now leaching out. So you're getting lime and copper depositing on the outside surfaces. Tension is that it will be moved, which will mean disassembling the piece. It's sort of cocked together. It's 4 legs, a torso, and a neck. And there's a separate part to the tail, which seems a little odd. We're going to have some sort of sacrificial anode protection to prevent it from deteriorating further. So what the intention is to fix it and to remove the stains and things, which I think we can do. But it's very early days. We've just started poking it to make a investigation. There seems to be a few bullet holes in it. It's Texas. I think Texans just can't help themselves when they see something, they want to shoot it. The whole set of the sculpture is the symbolic thing of working together, people giving each other support as you go through cancer, and then you come out the other side cured, and everybody goes in together and they walk through it.
I think it represents, I didn't ask, but like that's my personal like idea. They're going through some sort of like a gates, so, and it seems like, you know, in this journey you're not alone, kind of a message, I guess.
What do I think about the piece? I just not a fan of the man's style. I mean, I really detest nasty, realistic sculpture that doesn't account for scale.
I don't know if the artist wanted to do it like a actual size, the real size, but like it kind of looks small to me. The city actually, of course, when it got damaged, removed it, brought it to their warehouse, and we went to pick it up from there.
This job is actually incredibly dangerous. We work with incredibly heavy, unforgiving materials and harsh chemicals like acids, and we could easily be disfigured, blinded, if critically impaired if we make mistakes. And we've never had any mishaps or anything close to it. However, while moving a Mercury sculpture, we have a very old technique. Actually, ancient Egyptians used to use this technique to move large blocks, heavy stone, where you transport things or move things using 2x4s. You put it underneath and you know, lift one side and put a 2x4 under, and then lift the other side, put a 2x4, and you slowly build it up. We use that technique often. And in this situation, we were using a engine hoist, and a 2x4 got stuck when trying to pull it out to slowly inch our way back down. And while trying to get the 2x4 out, the entire Mercury sculpture fell over, and Michael was the only one holding it. And that's the first mishap that we've ever had.
It's not like an accident, but like, not like, I mean, things happen. It's part of this, you know, job. And yeah, Michael is obviously stronger than I think.
And I trust Michael and Chatai literally with my life. Like, there are times where I'm going to put myself in a precarious situation because I know that they know what they're doing, and I'm totally fine and safe. No one got hurt. Nothing was broken. And, you know, we left there totally fine. But the very next day, I just decided it's probably best if we, although we were working with the engine hoist, had something else as well, just for extra precautionary and to be extra safe. So because of that, I went out and got the shoulder dolly. So you put straps on over your shoulder, and then it has like, you use it with a partner. So your partner has straps on, and then the other partner has a strap on. And you join the two. Anyhow, and it gives you support. So now we have a shoulder dolly as well. And we're going to be using it in the future, but we've never used one before, and so that was the first opportunity that we had to pull it out, and so we did because we were excited. We just jumped the gun, and we're super excited about putting it to use.
So we'll copy the hand, make a mold off of the hand, make a wax impression, cast that in silicon bronze. But step one is to repair the figure and build an internal armature into the leg. Step two, the other foot is put that post, and then we have to deal with the city who's going to help us with the installation of how do we fasten, how do we set that in the ground. You'd be surprised how much how much public art is actually bought by somebody with good intentions and then donated to the city, and the city goes, oh God, no, we have another piece of somebody's donated art to look after. And that's really the truth, that a lot of people don't realize. There's a lot of it it's not well thought out or planned to be in a public space.
It belongs to like a family scene, kind of like a husband, the kid in the middle, and a wife. And of course the wife is gone now. We're taking care of it. So like the single husband and the kid are waiting for their, mother. It's gonna be fixed. We're gonna do it.
Fat Bottom Lady, I don't actually know the name of the sculpture, but I enjoy calling it the Fat Bottom Lady. So she had fallen over during a tornado and had nicks and stuff in her, and she's a bronze. So she was brought back to the studio and was fixed here and then repatinaed on her thigh and stuff where it was needed.
One of the big issues that people will do is they'll cock the bottom of a sculpture, and the biggest problem with that, it doesn't breathe. It doesn't allow the bronze to breathe. So normally you would not do that. You would put sometimes mortar under a statue. If in certain, so water wouldn't come under it, but many times it should be allowed to breathe. This is a rare occasion where the bronze settles on the limestone, and it's very hard. That's the hardest limestone.
So what we did is we basically just fixed it there, like before, like last. We adjusted, we measured it, we centered it, and we of course used the metal rods and concrete. And Michael uses like lead plates to balance it and like not to damage the stone in the future, on the limestone that it stands on. And we put the lead in between. The last touch was just to close that gap to avoid water going through, and like in the cold weather it would expand and damage the, not the sculpture in that situation, but mostly it would probably damage that concrete that holds it right now, and the limestone of course. So it's fixed now, so hopefully it will stay there for a while, unless another tornado comes by. Huh?
Did you have a good week?
Yeah, I always have a good week here. Yeah, I mean, it was nice. No harm done. Everything was fine.
Okay.
Life is good, no?
Hey,
Yeah.
that's great.
Looking forward to have more, work. That's it.
I'm going to take a
Yeah.
cocktail time.